Welcome, I'm Bill Wake. We're working on tools for dulcimer players, and the one we're working on right now is Metronome. We've got most of it hooked together, but we don't have the sound worked out, so we'll work on that today. All right, so we left it here, and for some reason we get two bumps, then one, then two. I don't know why. We're just playing it on the main thread. We're not doing anything fancy with it. Let's close things to the right of this, I guess. Oh, subsonic. Okay, subsonic's the toolkit we're using. Let's go find our player. Okay, so this is what's responding to the buttons. I don't know. Okay, so it keeps track of is playing, and it can toggle playing on or off, and you can observe is playing, so you can basically, that's what lets us switch between the filled and the unfilled version there. All right, so we say is playing.toggle. Now I did see, I think Let me open that subsonic readme again. Okay, so I think I've mixed approaches, and that's the problem. If you just call play sound, you play it, and that is not what we did. Instead, I define them as players. Okay, I think that was his fourth approach. Or third. Okay, play a sound with control over it, create the sound, and then call play, or then call stop. That's kind of the approach we're doing. You can control that by state, but this one might be better for us. You can call prepare, and then call play. Now, why that's not... Oh, I think the difference is... No, I'm not sure. If you do this, I don't know, maybe that's where the first one's coming from. Let's try switching to prepare. And the idea with prepare is, well, the play one plays immediately. And the idea with prepare is that it's going to load it and be ready to play, but not play it. So I don't know if that's part of it. Is playing a state? Yes. Oh. No, it's not. How is that working? Oh, no, he's not a state because he's not a view. So it's an object. Maybe he should be an object. And we create the thing. All right. So let's see. Sorry, I've just called prepare, I think, right? Prepare. And I'm going to hide these two for a moment. Let's focus on getting one sound working, and then see where we go. Okay, so if you say toggle, that would start as playing. If you're playing, we put in this thing to say stop. I don't know if that's necessary, but we do call player.play, and then we sleep half a second and then call player.stop. Otherwise, if they're whatever they're doing, we call player.stop. Okay, let's try this. When you press pause, it still might play the sound once before switching to false. I don't know. Let's see what this says again. Oh, do we have to say sound player.prepare? No. Why is that not going to work? Sound : whatever. Yeah, that seems like it should be in subsonic. Maybe this is another view thing. Yeah, prepare with control of the sound in view mode. Okay, well, let's go back to this. I think we did conform to one of his approaches. Option to play a sound but have control over it. Create a state object that represents the player. Now this is only in a view. Okay, so we're somehow creating an object. Sound. Okay. Start, play, stop, done, stop. Okay, let's. I don't think this is anything different, but let's see. Now I don't know why he wants to emphasize being in the view so much, but I don't know. That just feels odd to me. But there's a lot of stuff that wants to push things in views a lot more than I would like sometimes. Now I'm going to take out what I can. And I'm going to take this loop out. Now this seems like it should just play and then stop once. Is playing is not linked to the player, although we probably could, but so we create the sound, we play it, we stop it after a half a second. I don't see how there's, like, even if creating this did something, I don't know. I mean, if creating it created the sound, well, that gets done when it's constructed. Is that... why it goes back and forth. I could understand if it was 2 the first time, but let's make this a class. And then we'll make it a state object somewhere. I'm concerned that it's, because if it's in a view, it's a struct, it's sort of promising not to be changing, and maybe there's some, I don't know, something from that. But yeah, I mean, we know it doesn't because sometimes it plays at once, right? And we also looked at the waveform in the Audacity the other day. All right, let's find the caller of this, which maybe is metronome view. Start, stop view. Okay, so I'm going to give... okay, we got binding to player. So where's player coming from? State here. Let's say now I think that's still okay if it's being a class, but it's going to hold its persistence and player gets the same one every time. So I think that's reflecting what we want. I don't really think this is the problem, but we do want this object retaining state. Oh, so annoying. Oh, what you doing here, guys? I don't think this playing is doing anything at the moment. So, oh no, it is. We look at it. Do I have to mark it observable? Observable? If I can find my fingers. That way I think this is visible to him, at least. Is it re-rendering the view and thereby recreating the player? That's what I'm wondering. Start stop view. Well, what is it like this? Self dot print change? No. Do I have to have this in a VStack? Oh, let's get a window over here. Oh, I have to assign it. Okay. And then deal with the complaint. It gets a warning because I use the let, but if I delete the let, it doesn't work. So can we create the player outside the view and pass it in? Yeah, we probably could. And this should show us the view being drawn twice. Right. Okay, so start stop view identity changed. That's the startup. Player is playing dot changed. Okay, yeah, let's try moving this thing up. Well, I mean, metronome view is pretty good. Although, well, I have notes on using observable, but here's his example. He does state object. I don't. We're not using observable object, so let's find one with observable. Now, the thing that this really does, one thing I know I'm getting out of observable is it handles nested classes. It doesn't affect this instance, but it's definitely a good reason to use it. Okay, so we have to do bindable. That may be the problem. We're using state, but start stop should use bindable here, not binding, because it's observable object. Yeah, I don't know if it did or how it bound to it. I mean, it was changing this. Okay. It's consistent. Oh, there's a 3. I don't know. All right, let's try changing. Let's see if we can get 2 sounds in. Okay, so I'm going to have player 2, and then I'm just going to say player 2.play. And leave the stops. Huh. Okay. All right, let's pull. All right. Well, let's do it this way. Yeah, the binding was to player. We don't really bind to the subsonic player. He's just held by the object. Unable to open stream for loudness. Manage your P list. That's well, the sound is not what I would expect. Let's make this longer so we can just be sure I'm getting across quick enough. I'm going to do this here too. Okay, I'm going to put player 1.stop here. Now, I wonder if I'm maybe not supposed to have separate objects. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I mean, maybe I'm just not in quite the right use case. Okay. Oh. What? Does it play when you say stop? That seems bad. Sound is still bound in the view and when it plays when you press the button. Okay, there's thunk, tick, thump. We already did player 1 stop, so why is player 1 making any noise? Let's do that. But this is all in this one method or class, so I don't think that's likely to be the problem, but it's certainly been the case before. I don't get it. I mean, we played player one, we stopped player one. You think that would be the end of that. And then we played player two, and either, well, I don't know if it's player two dot stop is somehow playing the player one sound. Like, what would that mean? So I'm taking out that stop, but the stop was not there before, so I'm not sure why it would have anything to do with it. Okay, thump one, tick, thump. Well, I'm a little at the mercy of, well, both this package and the AV audio stuff. Okay. Play sound now. Play sound with state. Okay, right. Import subsonic. Now this seems very disconnected, right? It's just playing the sound. That's that. Play sound, but have control over it. So we get control of the volume, say. Excuse me. And playing image speaker name, yeah. Dot sound. Huh. The bump is the low, which is number one. So I think this sound thing must be, is that, yeah, sound modifier. Okay. Okay. You receive an AV audio player that you can use how you want. I don't know. Let's go inside his code. I mean, it's not much. It's really just kind of wrapping some system things. Okay, this is the view version. He adds the play. Share.play. Okay, we're not doing that. Okay, that's the view modifier. This must call the AV stuff. Okay, when bound to some UI state, this controls how a player responds when playing for a second time. Please use the shared singleton. Oh, sorry. So subsonic controller.shared collection of instances. Okay, that sounds like we should support multiple ones. Play. So I guess I could say subsonic controller.shared. Is that what he's doing? Yeah, I don't understand why it's playing that second bump, period. If I say whatever dot shared, I'm going to get this. Loaded and stored. Well, yeah, I'm not quite sure where that happens. Let's get a little more space on here. Okay, controller. Okay, wraps code to play from a bundle. So there's play mode. Where's that used? Okay, player. So we can set it on a player. I mean, I think we have to say subsonic.shared. You could say .play sound. You can prepare a sound, gives you a player. Called when one of our songs did finish. Where's did finish? Playing sounds dot remove player. Well, let's try that. I don't know if I'm getting away from the spirit of the library here, but okay, we got player is going to create. Okay, let's do an init. Okay, and then these. control.play sound. Well, I guess I could say prepare sound. Okay, let's try that off the controller. Is it AV Foundation? Yeah. So if I draw controller.play of sound, that seems like it just... I guess I should look at audio player. Okay, he has play of bool, play at time. Okay, I don't get it then. All right, this part I get. If I don't have one, I can't play it. Apparently that's what I really need. Okay, so hopefully diving in on a level and using prepare and not play. But I don't get what would cause that. I don't feel like I should need this. I mean, it seems like Subsonic's keeping track of a bunch of them. So it's not... I was worried that you might only be allowed to have one sound active at a time. I don't know if that's quite it. Why are they making all sounds state objects when using Subsonic player? Can you create sounds in the view and pass on to the player? I don't know. Okay, exiting is like right before the end. Did it do it before or after exiting? They make all sounds state objects when using this sound player, subsonic player. Can create the sounds in the view and pass them to the player. Well, I mean, theoretically, I'm allowed to create a controller and players. I mean, they seem to be... We got rid of the double thump, and at the same time. I don't know if that's just chance. Let's take out this thing. VAR is playing. And let's just go with this. Okay, because you can't click stop yet because we're synchronous, so there's no doing that. I mean, we used Audio Foundation before, right, on that earlier music comparison program or whatever we called it, the analysis program, because we played MIDI sounds for the tunes. Okay, let's do a run. And I don't know, I mean, Subsonic's definitely doing some stuff for you because it's keeping track of which sounds are there. Whoops. Oh, yeah. Player. Just take that out. What else? Anything else? Okay. Yeah, if we created the state objects, create the sounds of the view and pass them to the player. It feels unnecessary. Of course, I say that when I'm... Whoops. Did I... Button, play, pause, always present. Oh. That's better. Okay, there's thump one. Tick. Okay, I'm going to sleep again. Sleep some more. Well, no, that's after the sleep. I mean, I couldn't tell you if after last sleep and the exiting came before or after the tick. Well, let's do one last pause. Am I playing the low sound of the button? Am I? In here? Oh, jeez. Oh, golly. Okay, good eye. There's a half an hour plus we won't get back. Oh, my goodness. Okay, what have I got in... What have we done to player? Let's just see what we're... It might... Okay, I converted it to an object. What was it before? Before it was struct, we had players, he called play. I think that was okay. Okay, I'm going to revert this one in a moment. Let's make sure this works, but not calling play is probably a pretty significant factor. Okay, I'll do it again. Okay. Yeah, let's revert this. All right, now start, stop, view. Well, that's okay. All right, let's revert that. And let's go back here, take out the play again. Okay. And then metronome view. Cannot convert. Okay, because he's back to being a struct. Now that may be wrong. All right, and let's check. Oh, we got the junk out now. So this should just work. Oh my goodness. Well, we got it down to simultaneous with exiting and really exiting, and it turns out it was just a slight bit after it. Okay. Huh. Something's funny. All right. Did I mess up the is playing state or something? Okay, I got var is playing. Oh, I don't even know what we had. Okay. Yeah, that's all this was. The thing I thought was weird was I'm not getting a sound now. Am I running? Yeah, it's like it's frozen or something. Okay, let me run that again. Okay, so we'll review what we're doing. If it's playing, we're gonna stop player 1, which seems unnecessary. We're gonna play player 1, sleep half a second, and tell it to stop. I almost don't think that part's necessary. I don't know when you need to say, like, I don't think you need to stay stop if you're not worried about what it's doing. Okay, so let's do this. Yeah. Now, I thought the button behavior was funny. Okay, so I'm not doing anything. It's unfilled. Okay, so it's interesting to me that I think it should turn green immediately. And yeah, no, this should be okay. I'm glad that playing is working. The button is funny though. Okay, so I'm toggling here, but that's not. I may want to go back to being a class because I don't think we're getting. I'm not sure when it's doing what. Like if it ever sees toggle. It won't do anything about it till it returns from this. Maybe play and not play is a better deal, but okay. Let's go back to start stop. Okay, so he toggles it. Oh. Okay, I guess we're to the point of yeah, it needs to be async to be useful at this. If it were async, well, no, it wouldn't return until it got back, right? I guess we're not waiting for it. We just want something to go in the background. And I don't know, maybe I'm not quite sure how to get the state to it, but right, it should monitor that is playing toggle. And if it sees it stopped, it should stop scheduling more of these things. Um, what is it? Main Q? I forget how to do these things now. I mean, there's several choices too, so. Dispatch queue, right? Okay, so if you use run loop, your events will not be delivered. Okay, so I think dispatch queue.main. And I think we just need, like, is there an execute? That's what we really want. We'll get this separate. Okay. It's ambiguous. Yeah, it's not async. All right, let me do that. I've seen. All right, let's see their documentation. maybe I do want async. Capture of self within non-sendable player and a sendable closure. Dispatch queue global. Capturing self with non-sendable type player. I mean, I don't need to make... Well, no, I do need to pass player in. Consider making struct player conform to sendable, but he's not going to send it. That doesn't make sense. Capture of self with non-sendable type player. I mean, I could just call. No. Yeah, I don't think there should be any difference, really. I'm not quite sure what global versus main would do, but can I move this in here? Well, no. Okay, so this should run that asynchronously and let us hit stop, but stop won't do anything, I think. Let's see. I mean, I think we want to do a dispatch queue schedule for the next beat. Yeah. Okay, if it's playing, toggle that, spin off this, should beat 4 times and stop, but during that time we should see the toggle flip the way we expect it to. And if we hit stop, it's not going to do anything, but that's okay. At least I think. Should they be inverted? If it's playing... Oh, yeah. I guess I had this before for that reason. Is it going to beep its way through it when I start this thing? Yeah, it's marked false. Okay. Let's toggle it first, and then if it's playing, and I think that we're going to have to work out how to stop it. Now, I think these guys are no longer meaningful. Well, other than not playing any sounds, it's pretty good. What? Is it getting no space at all? Let's try this main without messing with it. Wow. I guess that's still going to be funny. Okay. Huh. I think it's still going to beep once. Can I tell what's running? I guess none of these will do that, will they? Skipping cycle due to overload. I'm never getting here. I don't know what house the proxy IO context is. Yeah, so it should, well, yeah, maybe we don't want main. Well, what I think should happen is, it should kick off that background event, and then move forward and say, I've returned and is playing is different, and so you should mark yourself filled, and then by then your new event should be triggering. Now, the way it is now, it's not, it's doing all four, and so it's going to pause, take 2 seconds to do it. Not great. But I also don't know. Some things have to be done on the main thread, and I don't know if triggering a sound is one of them. But yeah, it should be a background task. Let's go back to dispatch queue. Okay, executing tasks, managing queue. Scheduling. I mean, we will eventually schedule after X plus the time interval. Um, excuse me. Yeah, I thought there used to be something that was more like task. Okay, we definitely don't want sync because it sits there and waits for it to come back. And we probably give ourselves an infinite loop or something. Since we're already executing in the main thread, we can't release it until we do it. Async returns and associates it with the specified dispatch group, which can be implicit, which they don't mention, oddly. See if this... Okay, yeah, there is a task modifier. I thought so. Oh, it's up on the... There. Well, that's not going to be quite right. Also, it's not recurring. Background tasks are not guaranteed to be run at all. Remote notifications, that seems way overkill. Well, maybe that's... I'll keep that one around. How to run an asynchronous task. Add background mode on the capabilities page. Oh, gosh. I mean, Swift has 5 or 6 concurrency mechanisms at this point, it seems. New background task. Okay. Perform operations that take a few minutes to finish. Okay, that's not quite what we are after. Oh, wow, you have no control over this. Okay. Timer? Yeah, I've used that before. keep doing that. Well, do something in the background. When it finishes, wait 3 seconds and do something in the main thread. Okay, I could make my own. Is this the one you're talking about? Background, escaping client. That's kind of what we did. Dispatch queue. Yeah, I mean, I don't see how that's different than what we're doing. Okay. Well, let's take this code. All right, so make sure I understand the code before I go too far. So he's running this task at the background level. I almost think I need to be at a higher level because I'm after timing related stuff, but we'll see if anything works. All right, you pass in a function to run then, and then when you're done, if you provided it, we run another event in the background queue. I'm sorry, in the UI queue. Okay. So yeah, I think there was user created or user initiated. Both are very high level. So, but let's see if it does anything first. All right, so let's just put that up here. Okay, so we will. Well, that's the same message we were getting. Capture a background with non-sendable type. Nothing goes to void in a sendable closure. Right. I did turn on concurrency, I think. So strict concurrency. We're capturing and using a property inside of a closure. It's marked as sendable, which means we should expect it to run concurrently. We make sure any properties we capture inside can be safely used from concurrent code. Now, what I don't see is, I don't know. I know I've seen discussion about it that the Swift 6 concurrency rules and stuff like that are making it basically impossible for you to have unmanaged access across threads, I guess. Let's say it that way. A function type, I don't know what the function, usually you would expect it to tell me how to do that. Okay, escaping. The completed closure in the run can't be passed safely because they might run in different tasks. Yes. We need to make sure our task completion closure is sendable. Task completion equals @sendable. Put the argument list before the background. You think like here? Only applies to functions, okay. He doesn't like it. Consecutive. Just in case it can be put here. Okay, it can apparently. Okay, we're making a function that's sendable, but non-sendable type, nothing goes to void. This function type must be marked sendable to conform to sendable. Only applies to function type. Apparently not. Capture of completion with non-sendable type, nothing goes to void. Function type. And they're little yellow warnings, right? So in theory, somewhere like this. So he puts that before. Okay. Okay. Right. So this is dot background extends this. Okay, so let's go back to that example. So we want to do, there's what I was saying. Initiated is high priority, user initiative, interactive is higher. Okay, so let's try this one. That still lets us do our tapping. Yeah, so okay, so I guess that applies to the whole function then. So we're going to do this dot background. And I'm just going to start there. Static member background cannot be used on instance of type dispatch queue. Global dispatch queue. Oh, he already builds in dispatch queue.global. Okay. Oh, but he doesn't. Well, we can muck with it. He does it at background level. Okay, what's background? Lowest priority. Okay, yeah, I guess we just want to see it work first. So we do this. So we're playing that sound 4 times in the background. And he's not complaining about sendable, so that's a good thing. All right, let's see what happens. Okay, try to trigger something. Well, we got one. Now are we back to the start? Oh boy. Toolkits are so fun. So, well, let's try bumping this up to user initiated. Prevents the user from actively using your app. Well, let's try default at least. So he's running this. We had no completion. Okay. I mean, I suppose we could look in on this level, see how much is being consumed. Well, we didn't get any bumps. We only got one when I was paused. Just to shut that up. Okay, so it's doing it. All right, so I don't know how to interpret that. It's thinking it's doing it, and yet we don't have anything on the speakers. So that makes me wonder if this only really does happen at the UI level. So dispatch queue dot background. Let's put the 0.5 in here. The delay, I guess I got to put the word delay in there. And then let's move this to the completion. Now, I think we just do it like this. No. To call dispatch queue dot main dot async after. Well, that's okay. So let's do this. Something in the background. When it finishes, do it on the main thread. Okay, let's try that. I think we're going to find we don't really need this mechanism if all we need is this. Completion goes inside parentheses. It doesn't need to. If it's a second block kind of or closure thing. So I put the first one is empty and the second one is here. That should be okay. I guess we're just no sound. Okay, so let's move this. Now plus delay. Okay. I think we want to do this, and then I want to schedule myself next, but let's see if we get one thunk. So this says wait half a second and play the sound, And then I'll comment all this stuff out. Oops. Okay, so wait half a second. We should return from this method. And half a second in play. Okay. Maybe I should have kept the print. I don't hear it. Okay. What's so weird, if I take this out, right? I mean, he's just going to play a thunk. He's on the main thread. Well, he didn't. Have I got things screwed up again? Okay, I thought we were here. Okay, so toggle, it starts false, we flip it to true. If it's playing, let delay equals half and ignore it. And then call subsonic player with play. Now this thing... Okay, he gets the sound string. Player mode is reset by default. He prepares it. And he does some sort of reset. And he calls play. Now I thought we had something equivalent to this at some point working. All right, we'll put the printing in again. All right, there's not much here. Toggle it on, check if it's playing. If it is, played low. And if it's not, went print toggled off, which we shouldn't see. I mean, we'd only see it if I did that while it was, when it finished, and it should have flipped it back by then. Well, it'd be nice to leave his playing off at the end of this. But that's okay. And we got no threads going on that I know of. I mean, nothing beyond the main thread. He says played low, so we ran that code and did not do it. I thought it worked too. Oh, golly. Okay, let's diff. So we were effective. thread.sleep. Well, I don't know if I revert. I don't remember if we're back to something decent. Yeah, we got rid of that. Thank goodness. Yeah, let's revert this thing. Player. Discard changes. Okay, now let's look at player again. Okay, so he's building the sounds with prepare. Player one stop, player one play, player one stop. Okay. Let's see if this will work again. Okay. We'll take a break. We'll come back and we'll see if we can get this thing playing two sounds. Okay. We'll take a break. We'll come back and we'll see if we can get the... No, that was weird. I did not touch that button. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, we're taking a break. All right. Be back in 3 or 4 minutes. All right, welcome back. We'll take our 3rd, 4th, 5th, whatever it is, swing at this. So we left off. We have a really old version. Okay, but let's make it going like we want it to with 4 clicks anyway. I'll take these out. Try and keep this a little clean so we'll just at least comment those two. All right, and I think we decided we don't need this, and I kind of don't think we need that. I'll just comment that one. All right. So we should get 4 ticks at the thread level. Now, I don't know why. Yeah, maybe timer is fine. I mean, I'm going to run something. I don't know. Well, we'll see where we're going here. All right, this should click 4 times. Okay, at 60 beats a minute. Okay, now what I want to do is wrap this. Main.async with this code. All right, now the effect of this should be escaping closure captures mutating self parameter. Escaping closure. Now, that's what got us in trouble in the first place. All right. So that's dispatch queue main sync. Oh, well, was that async after? I don't think that's going to make a difference. After 0.5. Is it deadline colon? I don't think that affects this capture thing. Weird. Port foundation. Is it just .now? .now parentheses. capture of self with non-sendable player in a... Yeah, let's go look up timer. I don't know why we're getting this error now, but didn't before the break. I thought we had something very close to this. Now, and that would obviate this. Okay. Capture here. Okay, but we kind of decided we could just inline it, right? I guess that's what we did before. Okay. So hopefully this waits a tick and then runs. Wonder, no, it's a let. It shouldn't have hurted anything. So this will establish if we can run in a separate thread like that. Nuts. I don't know. Something's funny to it. I mean, we're not doing anything. We're not touching any elements of this struct in here. So in that sense, I don't think it should matter. But let's go find Swift's timer and see if we can just make something work with that. I'm a little worried that the sound stuff may be very sensitive to when it's running that way. Okay. All right. So don't need to store them, but you can. Okay. Let's take that. Now this one's fine. Fire timer method. Okay. Okay, and then we'll do fire timer up here. Can I do ABGC only within classes? Okay, let's do class. I guess I got to go back to observable. Take off the mutating, which you were suspicious of. Okay, I'm going to comment this stuff out for a moment. So we'll create the timer, and then I guess we got to do timer dot fire. Nope. Start. Nope. You create a timer and start it. I don't see any. I thought when you created this timer, I would have thought you had to call something to do it. Send the message to the, message is the old OBGC message, I bet. Okay, so with luck, we will see timer fired, timer fired, timer fired, till I cut it off. Yeah, so this is old school. I mean, the timer has been there a while. So pound selector says, go dig up a method named this. Wasn't he like? Yeah. All right. And when I click go, he should start printing. Fired, fired, fired. 1,001, 1,002, 1,003, 1,000. Can't tell at this point. Okay. So we'll stop. Repeats true. Okay. Now let's put this up there. Now, I think at that point, yeah, let's print exiting with timer running. Make sure we still keep executing after this, which I think we should. Now, with any luck with this, it'll go thunk, thunk, thunk until we shut it off. He thinks he's playing. Oh, man. I didn't get any thunks. Exiting with timer running. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so this maybe one thing works. Let's see. So it should turn this thing dark green, and then it should actually stop. Oh no, we have to call timer. Let's move this up. Timer invalidate. I'm not going to do player one stop. Okay, so yeah, we say we are. Cannot find self. Oh. Self is used before being initialized. Okay. Self and property. That's an old message. Okay. All right. So let's review it to make sure what we're thinking. So we allocate a timer without setting it up. When you hit go, we're going to create the timer mentioning self, and then call timer.fire to start it, and it repeats true, so it should just keep going. it's calling fire timer, which is this method marked OBGC, so the selector can find it. That tells it to create it as like kind of with an OBJC calling standard kind of thing, and pound selector makes it accessible to timer method. All right, so that should keep going until somebody comes in here again with true set. False. No, yeah, with it true, we toggle it to false, and then we're going to invalidate the timer, which should stop it. Okay, so that's the behavior I want on this thing. So it starts. I'm not hearing any booms, but he's running around saying play low, and then this should stop it, and it does. Okay, so if it only worked, if it played sounds, it would work. And that's just wanting along, complaining about the line length. Okay, which I don't mind breaking out. Okay, so it appears to be our issue is this thing just is not prepared to play in whatever, I don't even know where this is running, what thread it's running on, but it's not playing. All right, so now, I mean, which I think it's a nice thing. I mean, if you needed to like make a ticking clock or something, that kind of thing would do okay with it. Creates a new timer after each bump. I don't think, well, it creates one timer that would that will keep repeating. So whatever it does with this code segment and however it sets up the repeat, it's happening at the timer level. Okay, the other way would work if we heard the sound. Yeah, I think so. I mean, we would have eventually, I mean, what I would want to do is call this at the end rather than repeating 4 times. I want to call it at the end, say delay half a second, and then do it again, which is a little weird, but I don't know. It would be okay. But I think the question really is, so this is a Swift question, can sound play on a different thread? Yeah. Okay. Well, they're not really saying where they're doing things. Turn to B player. Yeah, prepare to play. I mean, he's doing that all in the same thread. And the subsonic we're using is basically AV audio player. Yeah. Great. Let's take that out. Wow. More results. No, this is some other thread. Swift. All right. I do not know. Okay. All right. Make sure both words are in there. Nah, might sound simple. Yeah, great. Okay. And this is just basic AV audio player, which is kind of what we're doing. I mean, that's what the wrapper, that controller wrapper, gave us back an audio player, and we called play.sound on it. Why do you want to take over my search button? Well, that's what that main should have done. Updates a state to the main thread. Yeah, this is more about dispatch queue than. Okay, so I guess what. At this point, we're not accessing even this, so that's separate. All we're doing is calling this method, and we clearly call it. I don't know, can you print, is there a way to get your own thread? Thread dot name? Thread dot is main thread. Well, I'd be curious to know that. But it's weird. Like I thought this thing did run on the main thread. Updates a state. So you're saying like when state changes play a sound kind of thing? On change of state? Yeah, I don't know how we I mean, I'm used to like threads having like in Java, right? If you want to update a field, you got to make sure it's accessed as a threaded variable, that it knows it has to synchronize it. I don't know what mechanism Swift uses. Okay, so it is on the main thread. That's really bad for us because that says calling the play sound thing on the main thread is not going to do it. Okay. Well, let's. I don't know where to put it. I mean, start stop view calls player. Well, if we go up here, I mean, can we pass state into timer? Well, I don't think it's on a peer. I think it's got to be like on change of. So I'm sort of assuming we'd. Well, I guess I'm going to say this. We have state var play next sound. And then that goes into here. I guess we'll give it a binding. Because we're going to change it. Play next sound is Boolean. Okay. And then here I'm going to put the thunk for now. So this code. And then play next sound equals false. Cannot find subsonic. Okay. Is that or a function you call from the thread? Well, we did that. I mean, that's what the timer did, was call our little function. But I think we're going to make the function just set this to true. I don't think so. If it double plays, we'll deal with that. All right. So if that thing comes true, it plays. Now let's set this thing up. Well, I think this is even. I don't know if that timer. I mean, timer exists with the time of this. I'm kind of moving this back up. Okay, so we'll get timer in here. Well, no, that won't work. Okay. Okay. Player's going to toggle. He's going to create a timer. He's a class, so he leaves that timer lying around. But then this thing is going to have to pass down next, play next sound. Bool. Okay, so he's going to get the of that. Classifiers, no initializers. Okay. Okay, we don't need this one. Oh, he's not even right. Oh. Yeah, he's going to have to be typed that way. Okay. Gotta find type binding. Well, we shouldn't have to import Switch UI to a class like this. But let's... Self is used in property. Self is used in property. Access is playing before all self properties are used. Oh. Ah. Now, do I need the underscore? I think he's a binding coming in as a binding, so that's okay. All right. And now we're going to say play next sound equals true. Can I do that? Okay. We're going to take this out and do this. And then in metronome view, play next sound equals false. Okay, so let's track it through. So we got, oh man, we can't do that. So the player needs to know all right, let's do it in a knit. Can I do that? Okay, I'm going to take this one off. I don't think I need to do anything. Okay, I'll make this optional. This is a little weird. Okay, we took that out. Cannot bind value of $player to vector type player. Right, because I don't know why that didn't complain before, because we changed it to a class. We don't need this argument anymore. Oh no, we do. Play start stop view should get a binding to next sound. Binding to next sound. Player. Player. He should be bindable then. That was the thing we had to change. Now, I'm setting up this horrible thing, which is that if you call player, but you never set up next sound first, then you got trouble. But I guess I got to see us get through it instead. Okay, remove the $sign. Yes, that seems more like it. Okay. So when you initialize this thing, you create a player, but he has no next sound. We can't, I don't think we can, like, I don't think we can do the player next sound here, because he's not defined yet, I don't think. Is he going to take it? Well, okay. All right. So he creates the player and then he updates the next sound before too long. He comes into start stop view. He says, hey, if play next sound ever changes to true, that should trigger a sound. And we go into start stop. He calls toggle when you hit the button, and is playing should become true. That should start the timer going. And the timer calls fire timer, which sets our play next sound to true, which should trigger the onChange to the other thing. What a heck of a way to do this. But we're just trying to get something going. I mean, there must be a way. There are metronome maps out there. And you can hit the stop button. I guess my hope is I click this and it starts ticking. Interesting. So play next sound. Accessing state's value outside of a view. This will result in a constant binding and will not update. Okay, so play next sound is not getting updated by this. Ugh. 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 Okay. Let's take it up a level. Okay, so I'm going to pull everything up. He's playing. Well, that should go down here. Because these two, they're all arguments. Okay. Is playing. All right. And we're going to say is playing dot toggle. If is playing, do something else, do something else. Oh, can I use mutating member? He's happy had state. Okay, now we're going to set play next sound to true. Okay, and otherwise, well, let's see if we get one thunk. Perhaps the button tap should be on the thread instead. All right, and if they hit, we don't do repeats, so I don't think it'll matter. Okay, again, we got this. So let's try this update here. On up here. Do that. Although, to be fair, player.nextSound does not get accessed anymore the way we're doing this. So this is a little unnecessary. Okay. Let's try again. So I think we'll get one thunk, I hope. That did not toggle. Played low, played low. So we kind of got two thumps. Nothing. Okay. Play next sound. Is playing, is state. I mean, play next sound's coming in from above. I guess we can take this guy out. Oops. Button image. Oh, okay. That's that. It's playing toggle. Okay, so he may have been okay. All right, I got prints there. Don't need player. I don't need player. That's already passed in, so we don't need to do anything there. Play next sound is false, but it goes in here where it gets triggered. Okay, so he should print when he does it. All right. Perhaps the button taps should be on the thread instead. Okay, so I think the effect of that last run was the changes I just made should be that the button works again. So he should turn green until I click him. And we got 2 played lows. Okay, so set to play came up once, but played came up twice. I don't know. I foresee another revert here coming. All right, what do we got? We got play next sound is set to false. So let's apply your rule. So new value in. Okay, yeah, I think that's all that's going on there. If play next sound, then we'll play it. I think you're right earlier that play next sound changed here. Oh, I have to say old, new. I think it was new, old, right? We went through this. Obviously backwards to me, but because it should be backwards compatible, which had the new value, I think. Perform. Change the initial colon. Action. Escaping VV. Right. Old, new. Okay, yeah, it is backwards. Old value, new value. I guess I don't need to, I can use the 0 version one if I'm willing to look at the variable. Okay. I guess you could have some generic situation where it seems like all you want's the old value if you have the new value right there in the variable, but okay. So theoretically he's played. We fixed one little thing. All right. Now I should be able to turn him back off. Okay, that part's fine. But why are you not playing anything even? Okay, now we can just call play. Right, because we got subsonic in here. Okay, finally something thunks. Why? I don't know. But he should do it again, right? His playing is off. Okay, something's funny. Oh, is playing off should be resetting something or okay, I think I know how it works now. Turn it off, turn it on. Okay. Okay, that's promising at least. I'm happier to end on a promising note than an unpromising one anyway. All right, so I think I can take this out because I trust it now. And I think we can try to set the timer. In start stop. Okay, maybe I should say what I'm going to do. So what I'm thinking is if I set this timer and then the timer method, all he does is clear that flag. We don't call it now. Okay, so I'll move him in. Okay, timer. Where's timer? Okay, so he's set to nil. We're going to set him. Okay. And we're going to get this method. Can only be used with classes, cannot be used with views. Ugh. Okay. All right. So I think what we're going to try then, I think I think we can do this. Dispatch q dot main dot async do something, and that something is is this. Okay, he doesn't have an option to repeat. I don't know. I may be too weird. Where was our timer, our thread dot sleep? I think he's gone. Oh, there's one. Okay, so okay, I don't know. So I'm saying set the sound to true, take a break, and then schedule another call to yourself. Okay, so it's not recursive, even though it looks it. But it should set up the next one. Now, I hope I'm setting up an infinite loop. Well, he should... Yeah, he should trigger that call, but that's an async call. We're going to let it run in the background while we do the next thing. Okay, and then let's put one more print in here. Okay. And I'm going to run that. He should go into an infinite loop with no way to stop. But we should still have access to our UI. And then I'm running a couple minutes late, so I won't pursue it any further after this run. Oh, he thinks he's still doing it. Oh, he's still scheduling it. Did he get off somehow? Okay, well, something's going right and something's going wrong. So, his playing is off. All right, so we'll track through tomorrow, 2 to 4:30 Eastern, 7 to 9:30 p.m. UTC. I don't know. This is not feeling like a great solution to me, but we had no solution, so we'll see. All right, yes, thank you, Mudshark, and anybody else watching. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.